We finance the initiative Dementia Needs Competence through our regular revenues from our services. The services are paid for by the Regional Health Fund, which is fed by the regional administration and the social security institutions. For some events, we get sponsoring from the region or from companies that provide catering. In year one, we have expenses amounting to around 440,000 euro, but only revenues in the amount of around 300,000 euro. That means we have a negative cash flow of around minus 140,000 euros. However, our cash position in year one is 120,000 euro. This is money we did not spend the year before. The difference between these two amounts results in a liquidity of minus 19,500 euro. Usually, this negative liquidity would be a huge problem for such initiative. If it is a standalone project, we would not be able to pay the bills. However, in our case, we are embedded in a large organization that provides us with liquidity, meaning money to pay our bills. In year two, we do not have any expenses for large investments like in year one. However, for our cost calculation, we take into account the depreciation for the investments we made in year one, our protection and door security system for patients. We depreciate both over 10 years and therefore consider 10% of its costs for the cost calculation in year two. That is why the costs in year two are higher than our expenses. In year two, the difference between our expenses and our revenues that come from service fees and sponsoring amounts to a positive cash flow of 15,000 euro. However, in year one, we had a negative liquidity of minus 19,500 euro. This negative amount we take into account in our liquidity in year two. Therefore, the liquidity of year two is the sum of our cash flow, our cash position. In our case, this amounts to minus 4,500 euro. In the next year, our liquidity will be positive again, since we do not have to handle any more investment costs the next year. In our case, we profit from the large organizational structure the initiative Dementia Needs Competence is embedded in. We are able to handle large investments without the need to borrow money.